Hello there and welcome back to Building the Boys. It's time for It Came From The Internet. Now, I get asked a lot of questions about, is this any good? Have you seen this one? Is this any good? Do you trust this? And my answer is always, I don't know. Because I typically only go through reputable companies. I wouldn't say I'm overly cautious, but everyone's been burnt. You know, once you bought something from Amazon that seemed too good to be true, and it turns up and it's because it was. Well, let's find out. So I've seen models on the internet where I've thought, I like that. From all kinds of places, Wish and Temu and Amazon and eBay and been like, but I don't know. So I thought, you know what we're going to do is we're just going to get some and we're going to try them out. Now, this is a mystery build. So if you're watching this in the first 5 days it goes up, it's just mystery build number 1. If you're watching this after that, you know exactly what it is that we're building. But if that's a little confusing, I'm not telling you what we're building. You can watch me build it, see if you can guess what it is as we go on. But this is something, so this is a brick model. It's not from Lego, but it is not a rip-off of a Lego model because Lego have never done this and they never will. So this is something you're never going to see from Lego, you're just not. But this is a brick model that I think a lot of you are going to like. If it's any good, and that's what the point of this is. If it is good, I'll go, you know what, this is amazing. Now, I paid £8.99 for this. This was £9, so the bar is set really low on what we're expecting from this one. But who knows? It might be an absolute peach. Let's find out. Let's get it open. Let's get it built. So we've emptied out some of it right now. I thought initially, oh, that's a plus. Numbered bags. That always helps, makes life easier. However, there are 8 bags in the box, and they're all either numbered 1 or 2. So that doesn't really help. I don't know if you build all of 1, then move on to 2. That's what I'm going to try and do. But that means we're going to have to dump out all of these bags and sift through looking for, you can see very little pieces. That is a bit of a negative. Ultimately, we'll decide how easy it isn't to build. But the fact that we're going to have this big pile of bricks on the desk is a bit of a negative. But let's get them open. Let's get building. So as you can see there, I've just got this whole mess of crap. So I'm thinking a speed build montage. Okay, so we are coming to the end. This is all we've got left now. So I thought we'd just have a chat whilst I'm building the last piece. I'm sure you figured out what it is by now. If you haven't, well, you're going to see in a minute. So I thought we talk about how we've got on with it and what we've thought of it. Well, my main criticism of this thing is the fact that it doesn't come in numbered bags. So if you've never built Lego before, typically these models come in bags numbered, 1 through whatever it is. And each one of the build stages sticks to whichever bag it is you're currently doing. So finding pieces is quite easy because you haven't got a desk covered in stuff, So finding the actual bits that you need is quite simple. However, this one, the bags have there's no logic behind the bags at all. It's 4 bags that say 1 and 4 bags that say 2, which means you end up with this great big pile of bricks. Now, that wouldn't be a problem if all the bricks didn't look the bloody same. So everything's this grey, with the exception of some of these blue elements. So the bulk of time, and it's took me, I'd say just over an hour to build this, the bulk of the time was spent looking for bits. Had it been in numbered bags, I think I could have built this in 30 minutes or less. Because that's genuinely what has taken up the time. Trying to find the bloody parts is what took all of the time, which is insanity if you think about it. But it's okay. What do I think of the actual build itself? You can see here, I'm having a hell of a... The bricks aren't fantastic. They're okay. But they're certainly not... They're not of the quality of Lego art, and then they're not of the quality Funhole are either. There's a very weird... They've got this weird mix of some of the clutch is really good. So that's how the bricks hold together. Some of it is really good. Some of it's bloody terrible. They're almost falling apart. And then other times of it, some of the bricks, the clutch is so loose that it's never ever going to hold. I mean, it really is that simple where... Sorry, the opposite. The clutch is so tight you can't get it apart. So, for instance, there was one part that looked very similar to something but wasn't. So then when I had to remove it, I actually had to use pliers to take the bricks apart because it would not come loose no matter what I tried. And that gives you an example. But then on the other side of it, I've got bits that just kept dropping off. And it's like this here. I can see that unless something's going to hold that over the top, that's going to drop off. So that's what I'm talking about. It's this really weird kind of mix of... Some of it is so tight it's unbelievable. Other parts of it are so loose that it'll never hold. That said, this cost £8, right? So I'm keeping that in mind. You get what you pay for, right? And there is no other version of this model. So this is the way it is. So it is what it is. Ultimately, have I enjoyed building it? Yeah, it's been fun. And do I think it's worth the money? I do, because I can see something you can't. So I can see where 90% of this build is at the moment sat next to me. And I think once I put this bit on, I mean, you can see they're never going to sit on there until something locks it in. And that's the other thing. The instructions aren't fantastic. Because you've got so many bricks that look so bloody similar, it's not the easiest thing to put together. Now, I've been building these for my kids and whatnot for years now, so I'm quite a dab hand at this, but it's it's the fact that you can't, like I said, you've got all of the bricks all at once makes it so difficult, and so many of the bricks are so similar. So you've got ones that look like each other, and it makes life difficult. I mean, that's the easiest way I can say it. What should be quite simple is actually quite complex. So if you want a challenge, I mean, it's certainly a challenge, but not a sensible challenge. It's a challenge as in we've just made this really difficult and it doesn't need to be. So that's my critique of it. But that said, I mean, I think it's going to look quite nice when this is done. So let me finish this bit off and we'll take a look. Okay, so we're all finished now, so I suppose it's time for you to see what or who it is that we've been building. And here he is. Johnny 5 is very much alive. Let me give you a proper look at him. right? So here you can see, here he is. And you know what? He's perfectly lovely. You see the tracks move there. You see the back of him. You know what, right? For £8, it ain't bad. If someone say to me, should I get one? Yeah. For like, honestly, this was like £8.60, I think it was. It was a fun build. It took an hour. It looks the part. You can see him there. It'll look nice on a shelf. It looks like what it's meant to look like. And it's fun. £8, I think you can't go wrong, to be honest with you. He came from Temu. That's where he came from. I will post a link to this exact one down below, but I mean, it's a decent amount of bricks. They're not Lego, a decent amount of bricks for your money. And I will show you the box that he came in. So this is the box he came in. He actually came from a German company. You will notice there's no company name on this box. So the company doesn't exist because they're like, we just don't want to be sued. MICM Products Limited I've got on there, but I've also got a GmbH that are located in Frankfurt. So I don't know, but it's what it is. It's perfectly lovely. Now, Lego are never going to produce this model, right? Not anytime soon, put it that way. So it's not a knockoff. This is basically, it's bricks that have built Johnny 5 is what it is, because Johnny 5 licensing is a nightmare, which is why you don't have all those companies like McFarlane and whatnot and Hot Toys putting out their own variants of, because the license is an absolute nightmare for Johnny 5. It's just in kind of development hell. So this is how you're going to get one. Until they do officially licensed stuff, this is how you get yourself a little brick built Johnny 5. I think he's lovely. I mean, like I said, for less than a tenner, it was fun. It was a nice build. I mean, he works. It is shonky as hell, right? So I'm telling you now, there are certain things I wouldn't trust to start bending the arms around, twisting the head, because I'm convinced it'd fall apart. But he is going to live on my shelf looking like that, and I'm okay with that. But if you would plan on buying this for a kid to play with, probably not. Probably not. It would just fall apart. But it's, as a model, he does his thing, you know. It's an interesting build, put it that way. But as I said, the hardest part about it was finding the bits. It's all just grey. So finding those tiny little grey, and there's a lot of 1 and 2 pieces, finding all of those amongst that sea of that stuff, not so easy. Let's have a chat. So there you go. Johnny 5 is, for now, as alive as he's going to get. And I mean, you can see he's big. He's a decent size. For, as I said, for a tenner, well, less than that, for £9. I don't think you can go wrong. I think it's decent. I think it does what it's supposed to do. And yeah, I think it's all right. They do look wildly different, though. So if you go onto Temu, there's about 15 different versions of this. This is what mine was meant to look like. And I think it pretty much does. So I'm perfectly happy with that. I'm okay with it. And this is the thing. It's not a lot of money. It's not like we dropped a ton of money on this. This was something I thought, I wonder what that's like. Because I hear people mention it all the time. I get tagged in these quite a lot. It's, oh, have you seen this? And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, but is it any good? Well, now I know. It's all right, is what it is. I'm not going to tell you it's great, because it's not. It's all right. So if you want a Johnny 5, if you want a brick built model, you don't mind laying out less than a tenner on one, there it is. And that is mystery build number 1 in the bag. Now, I did say when I announced the mystery builds, I gave some clues to them. And I said, if you can guess what any of those were, you will win a prize. And somebody did. And the first person out did. I won't say who they are, because they'll all claim it was them, but I'll be in contact with them soon. They won themselves the key ring. So the key ring is there. I do have 3 more mystery builds coming up on the channel. So mystery build... Well, I won't say which in order, but again, for the clues to them, there's no prizes this time. You make me go broke. I've only got a certain amount of key rings. The ones coming up are, one of them is another film character, and it's a film character that has, in my opinion, the most unjust reputation of being like the ultimate badass. I don't know how they got this reputation of being nails hard, because they're just not. Everything in these films goes, yeah, no, not so much. But for some reason, it's this big scary icon. I'm like, yeah, not really. So that's one of them. Another one of them is something, it's a brick model, and it's something that the Lego group could do. I just don't think they will. And I saw it, I liked the way it worked, and I thought, I like that, I'm going to get that. but it's something that's got a fairly controversial name, even though I don't think it's got a controversial name at all. But we'll find out what that is. And the last one is a wooden model. You will never guess what this is, because you just won't. These are something that were very popular in the 1970s, that because of the change in habits and whatnot, fell out of kind of no one needed them anymore. But as a modeler, I'm like, you know what? I do need that, just not for what the original intention was. So if I could have one of those that works and sits on my desk, fantastic. And it's a wooden model and building that. So those are the three that are coming up. Now, the way this is going to work is this one. If you're watching this in the first, I'd say 5 days it goes up. It's just mystery model number 1. That's all it is. Mystery model number 1. After 5 days, we'll put Brick Built Johnny 5. So people that want to see a Brick Built Johnny 5 can find it. But if, for the sake of the mystery aspect of this, the mystery part of the game, he'll be mystery model number 1 for the first 5 days. Then we'll just rename the video to Brick Built Johnny 5. So that's all for this one. If you haven't yet, please remember to like and subscribe, because we have 3 more mysteries coming this way. Along with, we've got Infinity Gauntlet coming up. We have got Batmobile Tumbler, Titanic, Disney Doll's House, plenty of Disney Doll's House coming. We will be ending the Ecto 1. We've got a book nook coming. We have the Haunted Mansion diorama coming. We have the Spitfire, the Iron Maiden Spitfire coming. And we also have... There's something else I can't remember. There's so much. There's so much to do. Funhole. We've got a Funhole model coming, a lovely one as well. And I have got something very, very, very nice on the way that's secret at the moment. I've got 2 of them. I've been told to keep my big mouth shut until they get here. So... mouth shut, but there's good things coming, trust me. As I say, if you haven't yet, please remember to like and subscribe. It helps the channel massive. We love having you along for our journey. If you'd like to contact us, you can contact us at buildwiththeboys@outlook.com. I'll put a link to this thing down below. I'm not getting paid for it. Temu ain't paying me nothing. This is just, if you want one of these, this is the one I bought. So you know this one is this one. That's all from me. In a world where you can be anything at all, just be nice. And until next time, take care. Bye-bye.